I am MS Mazhar from Nova CSS Academy Islamabad, and in this video of my column Crux, I will share with you the summaries and cruxes of important columns and editorials published in the Express Tribune and Dawn from 16th till 20th of June 2024. Here are the main points of the first column to be included in this video. This column has been taken from the Dawn published on 16 June 2024. The title of this column is No Talks with TTP, and this column has been produced by Muhammad Amir Rana. In this column, the writer has first of all explained a complete metamorphosis of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan from its inception till the present state. The writer has explained why this organization is actually a terrorist organization and not a popular insurgent organization, because it does not represent the cause for the sake of any marginalized community in Pakistan. And this is the reason why the government of Pakistan should not consider negotiations with Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. The writer also tells us that if the Afghan government expels Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and it re-migrates to Pakistan, then the Pakistani government should accept it only after its complete surrender. My dear students, believe you me that this column is so rich with important information that reading it should be considered a must for you. Another important column published in the Dawn of June 17, 2024 is Leadership, Crisis, Opportunity. This column has been produced by Maliha Lodi. In this column, the writer has first of all explained the qualities of good leadership. The writer has also told us about the difference between leaders and managers, and also explained why Pakistan has been drifting from crisis to crisis because it was in the hands of bad managers, not leaders. Because the managers do not have a vision for the future. It is the leader who has the vision for the future, and the managers only manage the affairs of the state, but leaders carve out new ways and have a very good vision of the future. Talking to the Enemy is a very important column that was published in the Dawn of June 17, 2024. This column has been penned down by Zamir Akram, who was a foreign top diplomat of Pakistan. In this column, the writer has given us a comprehensive summary of all different occasions when India agreed to negotiate differences with Pakistan, but it was under certain pressing circumstances, and as soon as the circumstances eased up, India backed out from any talks and derailed the peace process. However, after Modi came into power, the complete derailment of the peace process was seen. It is therefore important for Pakistan not to waste time on negotiations with India, because under the BJP government, India would not take any interest in any type of peace process with Pakistan. Therefore, instead of wasting time with negotiations with India, Pakistan should cement its relations with Iran, Afghanistan, China, and the Central Asian republics for the sake of boosting its trade and stability. And now I share with you the important points of another very important column that was published in the Dawn of June 20, 2024. The title of this column is Climate Smart Finance Bill, and this column has been contributed by Ali Tawqir Sheikh. In this column, the writer has expressed his disappointment on the absence of any commitments in the fiscal budget of 2024-25, which does not allocate any resources for climate management in Pakistan. The writer has included the example of Bangladesh, which has specifically allocated resources for climate management and to minimize the climate-related losses in that country. In order for the government to make a climate-related budget, the writer has pointed out 5 important anchors, which are: Number 1, an assessment of the potential impact of climate change on different sectors and regions. Number two, a mechanism to track and report on related expenditures. Number three, an alignment with national policies and targets. Number four, prioritizing rescue allocation for mitigation, adaptation, and resilience building. And number five, assessing domestic and international climate finance to fill the resource gap. The writer has also explained how debt for climate swap, debt for nature swap, green bonds, and certain other similar measures can be adopted for the sake of allocating resources for climate change management. Rule of violence is also an other important column that appeared in the dawn of June 2024. This column has been penned down by Khadim Hussain. In this column, the writer has given us an account of different incidents of violence, particularly by those people who are self-appointed soldiers of God and who think it is their divine duty to destroy every place where women can play a public role and to destroy all such places where art and aesthetics can be promoted. Now, these divine soldiers have also started targeting people whose faiths are different from theirs. This column would give you a great deal of data about different incidents of violence perpetrated by such divine soldiers of God. And now, some important columns published in the Express Tribune between 16th and 20th of June 2024. I have actually found three interesting and important columns for you, and all three of them, incidentally, come from the Express Tribune published on June 20, 2024. Here I am going to give you the main points of the first column that I have selected from this newspaper. The title of this column is ICJ versus Israel, Strategies to Confront Non-Compliance. This column has been penned down by Ikra Bano Suhail. In this column, the writer has explained as to what measures can be taken against Israel because of its non-compliance with the ICJ verdict against it in the case put against Israel by South Africa. The writer tells us that in case of non-compliance by Israel, South Africa can also take this case to United Nations Security Council, and after further litigation, if South Africa wins this case against Israel, then United Nations Security Council can recommend certain tough punitive measures against Israel. The writer has given a list of those possible punitive measures by UN Security Council. The writer also hopes against hope that OIC can also take certain measures to bring Israel to book in case of non-compliance with the verdict of ICJ. But sorry, I cannot understand what OIC will do in this case, except saying, oh, I see. Another very important and rather interesting column published in the Express Tribune on June 2024 is Myths about Afghanistan and the Islamic Emirate. This column has been contributed by Inamul Haq. In this column, the writer has talked about some of the widely accepted misperceptions about Afghanistan and Afghan Taliban. These perceptions have been considered myths, which this writer has busted in this very long column, whose one part has been published in the Tribune on June 20th, 2024. The next part will be published later on. I give you these myths and how this writer does not agree with them. Number one, that Afghanistan should be left on its own is not correct in Pakistan's case, because Pakistan and Afghanistan are greatly interdependent on each other in many ways. Number two, that Afghan people should be left free to resolve their own disputes on their own. The writer argues against this as well and says that if this principle is accepted, then there would be no use of Geneva Accord and all such forums where disputes among the people of the same country are discussed and settled. Number three, that Islamic Emirate cannot be pressurized under force is also not correct. Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan's denial that TTP is Pakistan's issue is an evidence for this argument. The writer has given more proofs to buttress this argument. Number four, that Afghan army is always indomitable is also not acceptable to this writer. His argument is that all the wars which Afghanistan won in the last few decades were not possible without Pakistan's multidimensional support. Number five, the writer also does not accept that Afghanistan provides strategic depth to Pakistan. He believes that, on the contrary, it is Pakistan which provides strategic depth to Afghanistan. USSR's invasion and USA's invasion are the cases in point. What I understand from this last point of strategic depth is that when USSR attacked Afghanistan in 1979, it was the Afghan Mujahideen who used Pakistan's territory to reassemble themselves, to replenish their power, and to hit back on the forces. Can we say the same thing about the later wars? I would not be disclosing this thing. It is for you to understand. And now the last important column taken from the Express Tribune of June 2024. The title of this column is Pursuit of Justice Abroad Amidst Domestic Discontent. This column has been contributed by Durdana Najam. In this column, the writer expresses her surprise on PDI's earnest efforts to seek help from the Congress people of the United States of America to twist Pakistan's government's arm and the powers that be to get PTI off the hook in Pakistan. The writer is surprised that the same country which was alleged by PTI to orchestrate its downfall in Pakistan is now being requested by the PTI to come to its rescue. The writer also is amazed that the PTI now calls all the apex institutions, including judiciary, establishment, NAB, FIA, for doing all the wrong things in Pakistan. But the same institutions were doing perfectly well under its tenure when they played hell with the opposition parties. The writer finally suggests that instead of seeking help from abroad, the PTI leaders should think of engaging with meaningful dialogues with the political parties of Pakistan for the sake of stability of politics and economy in Pakistan. And now, I give you the cruxes of important editorials published in the Express Tribune as well as Dawn from 16th till 20th of June 2024. Incidentally, I could find only two important editorials, one from the Dawn and one from the Tribune of June 2024 to be included in this video. The title of the Dawn editorial which I have selected for this video is Kindness Needed. You know that June 20 was the World Refugees Day, and this editorial is with reference to the World Refugees Day, and the editorial gives us some statistics about different refugees and their plight who are bound to live in refugees camps away from their own homelands. The writer tells us that these refugees deserve sympathy and they also deserve dignity and help from the host countries and societies. The writer tells that in order to give them a better life, the world powers should try to eliminate the causes of their being refugees, which means that wars and instability in their own countries should be removed. And now the second editorial, which was published in the Tribune of June 2024. The title of this editorial is For Greener Pastures. In this editorial, the newspaper has expressed its concern over the migration of the skilled workers and highly qualified youths from Pakistan to certain other foreign countries for the sake of seeking better job opportunities over there. The newspaper tells us that in the recent years there was a 119% increase in those skilled workers and highly qualified youths leaving Pakistan for greener pastures abroad. The newspaper also tells us that although these many people are leaving the country, yet there is a very intense competition for jobs because successive governments have miserably failed to create further jobs for the skilled workers and qualified youths in Pakistan. Dear students, in today's video of my column Crux, I have shared with you the cruxes and main points of important columns and editorials published in the Express Tribune as well as Dawn from 16th till 20th of June 2024. Please keep in your mind that the newspapers were not published on 18th and 19th of June because of the Eid al-Azha holidays. I hope that in the next video of my column Crux, I will share with you the cruxes and summaries of important editorials and columns published in both of these newspapers from 21st till 23rd of June 2024. Till I upload the next video, I would say Allah Hafiz to all of you.